We are physical machines that have learned how to think. And this model then sees the human body as a frozen sculpture, fixed in space and time. Literally, the entire approach becomes completely and totally materialistic. We have frozen bullets, literally, to treat the frozen sculpture, magic bullets. If you can't believe you ate the whole thing, don't worry. All you have to do is take a couple of Alka-Seltzer. If you can't go to sleep at night, then you can take a sleeping pill. It will cure your insomnia. If you're feeling anxious, take a tranquilizer. It will give you tranquility. If you have an infection, take an antibiotic, and that will get rid of the basic reason why you have the infection. If you have chest pain, you can pop a nitroglycerin. Better still, have a bypass operation. If you have cancer, you can have chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, etc. These are the magic bullets of medicine based on the superstition of materialism. They're supposed to get rid of disease, but they don't, because most of the time they are purely symptomatic approaches. They cover the symptoms of disease while the underlying process goes on. Or at best, they may interfere with the mechanisms of disease. And somehow people have confused, even scientists, have confused the mechanisms of disease with the origins of disease. The mechanisms of disease are not the origins of disease. So you can, with the mechanism of disease, you say, I'll interfere with the multiplication of bacteria. That's how an antibiotic acts. But then bacteria develop alternative metabolic pathways, and you get antibiotic-resistant organisms. It's estimated, for example, that in the United States, 100,000 people die per year in this country, according to statistics from the California Medical Association, as a result of antibiotic-resistant organisms that are acquired in hospitals. 36% of all patients in hospitals suffer today from what is called iatrogenic disease, which means disease as a result of technical medical intervention. In the last 10 years, there has been an increase of 50 to 200% in certain types of cancer, and one of the emerging causes of cancer is the treatment of cancer, which renders a host completely immunocompromised by destruction of the immune system. Every 24 hours in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, 80% of the population swallows a medically prescribed chemical. So we have really allowed this superstition to completely override all logic, to the extent that today we still believe that the cure to AIDS, to cancer, and to all the diseases that mankind has today is some bullet out there, some material agent out there. It's based on the model of the human body. In fact, a recent commentary from a social scientist at Harvard, he made the comment, he said, the pain, dysfunction, disability, and anguish resulting from technical medical intervention now rival the morbidity due to traffic and industrial accidents and even war-related activities, making the impact of medicine one of the most rapidly spreading epidemics of our time. Medical practice, as we do it today, based on this superstition of materialism, does nothing to alter the overall morbidity or mortality of disease in a given population. Sure, it is very useful in emergency situations, in acute situations, and yes, we don't have diseases like polio, like smallpox, like tuberculosis, but we have a much larger incidence of things like coronary artery disease, diabetes, like mental disorders, like arthritis, like Alzheimer's, like cancer, like arthritis. These are actually increasing, while some are decreasing. So what we see is a different expression of the disease process. And it's not because as scientists we don't have the right intentions, it's because as scientists we have been entrenched in this superstition of materialism. So let me offer to you today a model different from the materialistic model, which is based on some of the most ancient wisdom that the human race has ever had, the ancient wisdom of the Vedic tradition, on which is based the whole knowledge of Maharishi Ayurveda. And this wisdom is consistent with the most astonishing insights of modern science as well. And it goes thousands of years, and it says the human body is not a physical machine, but rather it is a river of intelligence and information and knowledge and energy. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus, he said there's something very mysterious about a river. When you look at a river, it looks the same to you every moment that you look at it, but in fact, it's a new in every second of your perception of it. And the Indian sages of Veda, they said the same thing. They said a river is a very good example of Maya. Maya means illusion or that which is not. You look at the river and it looks to you every moment the same river. Heraclitus said you cannot step into the same river twice because new water is flowing in all the time. When we look at the human body, we also see the same thing. The real you, and when we, in a moment, see who that real you is, cannot step into the same flesh and bones twice, because in every second of your existence, you're actually renewing your body more effortlessly, more rapidly, more efficiently than you can change your clothes. We can take a number of processes, such as eating, breathing, digestion, metabolism, elimination, thought process, etc., and we'll see that in fact the human body is a very dynamic field of energy that's constantly renewing itself much faster, much more effortlessly than, as I said, you can even change your clothes. For example, with each breath that you breathe in, you take in 10 to the power of 22 atoms from the universe. That's an astronomical number of raw material that comes from the universe and ultimately ends up with your heart cells, your bone cells, your DNA, etc. With each breath that you breathe out 10 to the power of 22 atoms, an astronomical number of raw material that's coming from everywhere in your body, from your heart cells, your kidney cells, literally breathing out. You are literally breathing out bits and pieces of your heart and kidney and brain, and in fact, we are sharing our organs with each other all the time. In fact, if you think that we are separate, that's another superstition. Physically speaking, we are not separate at all. As the poet Walt Whitman said, every atom belonging to you as well belongs to me, because it's been in you sometime or the other. In fact, right now, right this second in your physical body, you have 1 million atoms that were once in the body of Christ, or Buddha, or Muhammad, or Genghis, or Mr. Saddam Hussein, or Adolf Hitler. Think of anyone that has ever existed in this planet, and you have in your body right now 1 million atoms that were once in that body. Just in the last 3 weeks, statistics will show you, 1 quadrillion atoms have gone through your body that have also gone through the body of every other living species on this planet. So where are separations at all, even on a physical level? Radioactive isotope studies show that in less than 1 year, we replace 98% of all the atoms in our body. You make a new liver every 6 weeks. You make a new skin once a month. A new stomach lining every 5 days. Even the brain cells that you think with as material as carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, etc., it wasn't there 1 year ago. The skeleton is replaced completely. It seems so hard, solid, permanent. The skeleton is replaced completely in 3 months. And the DNA, which is the genetic material which holds the memories of millions of years of evolutionary time, the actual raw material of the DNA, the physical matter of it, comes and goes every 6 months. So if you think you are your physical body, then according to the great seers of Ayurveda, you certainly have a dilemma. Which one are you talking about? Because the 1990 model is not the same as the 1989 model, or even the model from 3 or 4 months ago.